First, for the first time, we are getting a look at a local town devastated by wildfire. A monumental windstorm kicked up flames across the region, causing heartbreak and power outages.
Live at this moment, we're following several major fires. This is a live look from the Santiam Pass. At times during the day, the view from this spot looked like night.
And local, unreal views from local areas. No, this isn't a sunrise. It's in the middle of the day. The sky has been cast an orange color as smoke swirls in the air. The 4 o'clock news starts now. And good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here for the 4 o'clock news. I'm Wayne Garcia.
And I'm Nora Hart. A lot to cover right now as evacuations are underway. And at this point, we know at least 3 people have been hurt by fires in Oregon. We want to give you a first look from Air 12. This is a live view this afternoon. The view from one of the areas evacuated today, the popular Hag Lake in Washington County. You can see active flames, lots of smoke. Several people there were visiting just for the holiday weekend.
Yeah, we can't even fly over some of the hardest hit spots over Santiam Pass right now because the air quality is affecting visibility. So we'll keep track on that. As soon as we can get our chopper to that area, we'll show you. But in the meantime, this is that fire burning near Hag Lake. The view is almost unbelievable in Marion County right now, somewhat reminiscent of the eclipse a few years ago. The county has declared a state of emergency because of wildfires, as 2 major ones we've been watching in the Santiam Pass, Beachy Creek and Lions Head fires, could soon come together as one. Many spots along Highway 22 are now under level 3 evacuations, which include areas around Detroit Lake. To the west in the Coast Range, 2 rare major fires off Highway 18 are also forcing evacuations. Lincoln County has declared a state of emergency as well.
We showed you that live look at Hag Lake, but this area is now closed. There's a press conference happening. We're monitoring that, and we'll make sure to bring you the very latest on any new information. But people there are being told to leave the area around Southwest Dundee Road in the town of Cherry Grove. Forest Grove Fire says 2 single-engine air tankers are taking water from the lake to douse the flames.
And of course, we have crews all over the area covering this for you. Fox 12 Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson is one of those standing by here in the studio. We also have crews spread out across the area.
Let's get to Fox 12's John Hendricks, who's in Staten right now. John, the scene behind you is just unbelievable.
It's been incredible to see all day long. It has been like this in the Staten Sublimity area and much of the Santiam Canyon most of the day with that orange sky. At times, you couldn't even see the sun. It did lift for a little bit, but it has settled back in here for the evening. Want to give you a look at what we have been watching here. That fire burning to the east of where we are right now. We want to get you to some video that we shot from about 10:30 this morning at the road closure here at Highway 22 and Cascade Highway. The highway is closed from here in Staten all the way to Santiam Pass. That's some 70+ miles. We also have some other video to share with you as well. This from the Marion County Sheriff's Office. It shows what firefighters were up against along Highway 22 in Mill City overnight. We have heard reports that several businesses have been lost as well as homes, but we haven't been able to get an official count or anything like that from firefighters. Fire crews are not exactly sure on the extent of the damage because it is still too dangerous to go in and look. We do know today fire crews were working to rescue and evacuate people from the Santiam Canyon. Some of the crews fighting those fires yesterday had to be rescued themselves. We spoke with a woman who lives outside of Staten. She had evacuated this morning as flames crept closer and closer to their property.
There's always fires over there and down there and, over there. But yeah, this is like in the backyard now. And it didn't hit me till about 4:30 this morning when my husband went and looked and said, yeah, the fire's just down there. And it was like, okay, it's time to go. It's just time to go.
Now here in Staten and just down the road in Sublimity, those communities remain on a level 2 evacuation notice this evening. Now I want to bring you back out here live tonight just to kind of show you this evening sky. Do keep in mind that it is a 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and if you can kind of hear it. I don't know if you can pick it up through our microphone, but the crickets are chirping in the water and around the pond that we are by here off Cascade Highway. Now everyone really waiting for this smoke to lift and the weather to calm down to really see what damage has occurred and to try to get life back to normal. Reporting live tonight, John Hendricks, Fox 12 Oregon.
Okay, John, as these fires in the Santiam Canyon grow, a glow can be seen across the area. It's a view that many people are seeing as they flee that area. So where are they going?
Well, many are headed to the Red Cross shelter at the Oregon State Fairgrounds. Fox 12's Kendra Kent is there right now with what's happening. Kendra?
Yeah, that's right, Nora, and it's like a mini town here right now. There are simply hundreds of people who've come to the fairgrounds here seeking either shelter or, perhaps supplies that the Red Cross can help them with. And check out this parking lot behind me. You can see it is packed full with cars, trucks, people with their campers and trailers. Got a steady stream of traffic coming in here. And it went from a hazy orange here to a red, but now it's actually back to orange. So certainly is eerie here in the sky as well in Salem. The Red Cross told me a bit earlier today that they are serving roughly 600 people right now, hoping to help where they can before sending people on their way to stay with friends, family, or possibly even a hotel that would be paid for by the Red Cross. As you can imagine, the pandemic is making things more challenging with a group this big, but we do know some people plan on sleeping here in their campers, RVs, or even in their cars. We spoke to families who are under a level 3 go evacuation notice. They tell us they grabbed what they could and came here. Larry and his wife live in Turner. While the fire hadn't reached their house, they wanted to get out early because they have animals and live on a dirt road that can be tough to navigate at times.
The ash kind of looked like snow a little bit, and then when we came here, I saw maroon smoke behind us. Red sky, dark clouds, that's it.
And many people here are on edge because they don't know if their homes burned in the fire. They're also worried about pets that they had to leave behind when they were in that scramble. Over here, there is a lot of supplies that have been dropped off. I think my photographer there was just showing you. You can see the cases of water that are stacked out. There are a lot of volunteers. We've seen people bringing pet food. However, I do want to mention really quick that the Red Cross says they do not need any supplies from the community at this time. They say if you'd like to help, consider donating money to the Red Cross. Reporting live tonight in Salem, Kendra Kent, Fox 12 Oregon.
Incredible. Okay, thanks, Kendra. Governor Kate Brown is responding as these fast-moving wildfires ramp up and burn across Oregon.
Fox 12's Haley Rush joins us now live in studio with the latest.
Well, the press conference ended just minutes ago with Governor Brown calling the wind and fires a once-in-a-generation event. She and fire officials just spoke, like I said, addressing these wildfires across the state. They say right now the main goal is making sure people evacuate their homes. They reminded people if they're under a level 2 evacuation to start packing now, and level 3, of course, means get out now. They also encouraged people to make sure they're signing up for emergency notifications in their county so they know when to leave their home. The governor and other fire leaders have called these devastating fires historic and a once-in-a-generation event.
Almost every year since becoming governor, I've witnessed historic wildfire seasons. Yet, this is proving to be an unprecedented and significant fire event for our state.
Fire officials could not answer today if anyone has died from the fires or how many people exactly have been hurt. They did say there have been some successful rescue missions, speaking specifically about one going on at the Lions Head Fire. They also wanted to remind people not just fires, but smoke can affect people. They encourage everyone, especially young children and older adults, to evacuate their homes if told to or stay inside because of that smoke. Reporting live in studio, Haley Rush, Fox 12 Oregon.
All right, Haley, thank you. Just into the newsroom this hour, we've learned of a new fire that sparked in Malino and is forcing people in about 40 to 50 homes to leave. Those homes are between Burns and Graves Roads up to Howard's Mill Road. Clackamas County Sheriff's Office tells us that a transformer blew east of the Malino Airport and caught trees on fire this afternoon. The fire quickly moved up a slope. Firefighters weren't able to reach the fire until power was shut off in the area. Again, right now, people living between Burns and Graves Roads to Howard's Mill Road are under a mandatory evacuation order. And here's where those evacuation orders stand right now. Several communities in the Santiam Canyon area are under level 3 orders. That means go now. They are Detroit, Lyons, Mahama, Mill City, Gates, Idana, North Fork, Brighton Bush, and 214 north of Silver Falls State Park. In Lincoln County, North Deer Valley Road, Yodel Lane, Bank Road, Meadows Place, and Maple Drive are also under level 3 evacuation orders. And at Hag Lake, where firefighters just updated information within the hour, Dundee Road is under a level 3 evacuation order. So are Southwest Patton Valley Road to Cherry Grove Southwest Lee Road and Southwest Cascara Road near Henry Hag Lake. Also, the entire city of Cherry Grove is under level 3 orders.
Late this afternoon, those orders we mentioned, level 3 evacuations issued for part of the Malino area. That includes Burns Road to Graves Road to Howard's Mill Road. And with so many evacuations underway right now, this is something you should probably be aware of. The Office of Emergency Management put out this chart. They say a level 1 means be ready. Level 2 means get set to leave at a moment's notice. And level 3 means you need to go, leave now. KPTV.com has the most up-to-date information on evacuation orders, including road closures.
Well, Mark Nelson joins us now. He's going to give us some perspective on what's going on out there.
Yeah, let's give you what's going on right now, and then the biggie is when will the wind stop, because the wind in the dryer has been the huge issue. I've never seen a satellite image like this over northwest Oregon and southwest Washington. This is 10:30 a.m. No clouds on here. This is all smoke from all these different fires. There's the Beachy Creek is the big one there east of Salem. Latest estimate was 130,000 to 150,000 acres. 2 days ago, and I think even early yesterday, was like 500 acres. So that would imply that 200 square miles burned in the just from that fire in the last day or day and a half. That's just amazing. I mean, that blows away the Eagle Creek fire in the Columbia River Gorge 3 years ago. Then the Holiday Farm fire, lots of residences destroyed apparently down in the Blue River area east of Eugene. And Lion's Head fire, that actually came over the Cascades last night from the Warm Springs Reservation and is almost combined with the Beachy Creek fire. And then you see one more fire up there at Big Hollow. Now watch, that's at 10:30 a.m. Look just southeast of Portland. Watch what happens in the afternoon. Suddenly a new one pops up. That one is southeast of Estacada. That's the Riverside fire. We're not hearing too much about that yet because so far it's in forested area. But the point is there is just a ton of smoke. It's all visible from radar. Radar can clearly see the smoke plumes. Right now the biggest one is that Riverside fire burning southeast of Estacada and Colton. Obviously, the big issue is the wind. 80 degrees in Portland, actually cool, relatively cool today, but gusts to 40 still. In fact, everybody's getting the wind still at this hour. If we only had wind like in the gorge, wouldn't be as big of a deal, but everybody's getting the wind. Here's a wind gust forecast. Watch what happens. As we go through the nighttime, in the valleys, the wind will calm down some, except maybe right here in the middle of the metro area. But notice Colton, Mill City, foothills of the Cascades, where the fires are going, it's going to continue going. Continues tomorrow, though, it won't be as strong, so we're in this for one more full day. And then here's the good news. On Thursday, you really see the wind backing off by late in the day, and that will be the end of this event. But, boy, just a historic setup here, and we'll talk more about this and compared to some past huge fires as well coming up.
All right, Mark, thank you for keeping us posted. Last night's windstorm took down power lines, and this is a look at where outages are right now. Still pretty busy. Yeah, we're talking tens of thousands of people all over the metro area. Some have been without power since yesterday evening. Pacific Power and Clark Public Utilities are very busy. They ask that customers please stay patient.
All right, take a look at some of the damage here. Those powerful winds brought down some trees, which also, you can see, brought down some power lines. Clackamas County was one of the hardest hit areas. In fact, power outages canceled the first day of school in Oregon City, even though the first day was to take place at home. Fox 12's Marilyn Deutsch reports from Oregon City.
Lynn Avenue between Park and Electric closed this morning. This after high winds brought a neighborhood tree crashing down last night, and with it came the power lines. And power outages, which meant no internet, which also meant that students in Oregon City schools couldn't start their remote learning classes today. Students could not get online from their self-styled classrooms at home. The Booker family was one that had no power this morning.
I was going to be downstairs. That's where my desk is.
But instead of starting fifth grade distance learning, Carolyn Booker's daughters were outside riding their wheels. Carolyn jokes that spring break never ended last school year, so it's no shocker that this year's summer vacation is extended by a day. If it's not a pandemic causing havoc with local schools, it's a windstorm.
I'm not surprised it's 2020.
It was an odd September wind that blew in hot and dry through the already bone-dry northwest.
We just heard of a big crack in that tree. My neighbor fell over and hit that electrical pole, and then a kaboom, the transformer blew, and there was a bit of a fire that started on the top of the tree.
Nate Loomis lives on Lynn Avenue and was there when his neighbor's tree fell. He was also there to see another neighbor climb on top of his work truck with, luckily, a special fire extinguisher used for electrical fires. And even though another transformer exploded, that neighbor was able to squelch the fire before it spread across the treetops to homes in this heavily wooded neighborhood.
As neighbors, we knocked on each other's doors, make sure we're okay.
With fires so easily ignited right now, neighbors know they're lucky that they and their homes are safe. Meantime, for families like the Bookers, this is one more strange school day in a strange year. But there's always tomorrow. Isabel is looking forward to her first day of kindergarten.
It will be the first day of kindergarten together in the room.
Oregon City schools say school will start tomorrow, online, of course. In Oregon City, Marilyn Deutsch, Fox 12 Oregon.
So as Marilyn just mentioned, Oregon City schools had to cancel classes today because of all the power outages, but it is certainly not the only district to do so. Others include Canby, Jervis, and Molalla River. The Cascade School District had to cancel because fires forced several staff members to have to leave. Oregon Coast Community College was closed because of fires, outages, and highway closures. And Western Oregon University is also closed, but it did not release a reason. Portland Public Schools told us today that they did have concerns about their students learning from home. If they weren't able to get to their online classes due to power, they will not be penalized. In fact, some teachers were not even able to log on. Families should expect to hear from students' schools in those cases. And there was also a similar story in Lake Oswego that warned junior high students that some teachers weren't able to log in either because of power issues.
The 4 o'clock news is just getting started. Still to come, the fires are really doing a number on the air quality in our area. We're checking the numbers to find out where the air could be hazardous to your health.
And we're so thankful for our many viewers who are sending us pictures of what the fires look like across the area. Now, throughout the newscast, we are sharing them with you. Welcome back. We want to get back to our wildfire coverage right now. Air 12 is flying near Colton. It's headed towards Santiam Pass. We're seeing some level 3 evacuations right now near the pass and also out west in Hag Lake. We've seen a lot of images from you, our viewers, today.
Many photos have been really eerie with orange and red skies, and at times it looks more like night than day in some spots, even around Salem. Fox 12's Bonnie Silkman joins us now in studio with a look at some wild viewer photos.
Yeah, really, Nora, some incredible yet heartbreaking images are pouring into the newsroom tonight. We've been sifting through many of them. Here's a look at just a few of them.
Take a look at this. Eliana in Salem sent us this ominous photo from inside her house. You can see that red light glowing through her door. Several other viewers sent us photos of that eerie red sky, including Elizabeth Young in Sublimity. She says this is what things looked like at 9 a.m. Another photo from there, this time from Mackenzie Anundi. How's this for a sunrise? We're told this was shot at 7 a.m. And Luke Anderson in Albany sent us this one looking out a window. He says it was taken just before 9. And out along the Oregon coast, here's a view from Penny Jacobson from Seal Rock. Picture after picture showing us that red sky. It's reminiscent of the total solar eclipse we saw just a few years ago. Many fires are popping up across the state today. We're trying to get as many visuals for you as possible for complete coverage. And we want to thank our Fox 12 viewers for sending in these photos.
And we have put up a slideshow on our website, kptv.com, so you can see that right here. Lots of images to go through. We also have an entire fire section, again, at kptv.com/wildfires. For now, reporting live in studio, Bonnie Silkman, Fox 12 Oregon.
Boy, time to do a 180 here. While we're seeing hot temperatures and fires, Colorado is getting a bit of weather whiplash.
Yeah, this is wild. Yesterday, Colorado saw temperatures in the 90s. Well, now it's seeing a record low with temperatures down in the 30s. The extreme weather is putting crops and livelihoods at risk. Yesterday, some farmers tried to harvest what they could. In addition to the dip in temperatures, there could even be some September snow. Just crazy.
By the way, this is directly related to that. I mean, basically, look at this, temperatures below average here. Some places like Colorado, 40 degrees below average.
Wow.
But that's cool high pressure, so it's very dense and heavy air, and that's all pushing west over the Pacific Northwest. So basically, we're getting, quote, cool air. And that will continue, although notice how the cool, we call it an anomaly, basically below average, kind of goes away over the next few days. So that's good news there, I suppose, for them. They're going to go back to like 80 in Denver in a few days. So that is the live view. We've not adjusted the color at all. It actually is that orange in Newport right now. You don't see this more than once every decade or two if fire smoke is directly over you, which you don't want. But 73 degrees, Newport's going to be very warm tomorrow. Although, if the smoke is too thick, that keeps the temperature down. In fact, Newport has been staying cooler than the rest of the coastline today due to the fire smoke. 81 up in Vancouver. And I mentioned the largest fire on record in Oregon did happen actually about where the Beachy Creek fire is, east of Silverton up in the Cascade Mountains. That was 1865. So it was only, what, just a few years after Oregon became a state. About 1 million acres. And here are some other huge fires. 1849, the Siletz fire, 800,000 acres estimated. In 1933, the Tillamook burn was huge, 240,000 acres, about double what just happened last night with the Beachy Creek fire. So before 1910, huge fires were pretty common because there were little or no fire suppression. You just got out of the way of the fires. Actually, that's kind of what's been going on today. But the largest this year appears to be that Beachy Creek fire, from just less than 1,000 acres to maybe about 200 square miles in one day down there. So that is crazy. Okay, you see the influence of the smoke right through here, 70s, but 80s farther north on the coast and 80s here in the valleys. If we get really thick smoke in the valley again tomorrow, which is likely, you might only stay in the 70s. And here's the biggie. We're going to turn hot away from the smoky areas tomorrow and Thursday, drop a few degrees Friday and Saturday, and then fall is on. We'll see, depending on how much marine air we get and how much cooling we get from any showers. These could be down in the upper 60s and low 70s. So I think that's a big story beginning Sunday, and if not Sunday, Monday. It's going to feel like fall, and real fall weather arrives. So cloud and rain forecast, you can see that surge of the ocean air coming up the coastline Thursday night and Friday, and that's what's going to help cool us off on Friday. We go a little farther ahead in time. We start to get into the morning clouds, afternoon sun routine over the weekend. That cools us off further. And then this model, pretty reliable, says actual rain on Monday and showers on Tuesday. So we'll see. If so, for Nora, it'll be pumpkin spice latte time for sure by Monday and Tuesday, if that's the case. So smoky along the coast, very warm. If you get thick smoke, like on the central coast, might stay in the 70s, maybe near 90 on the north coast without as much smoke. Real warm here in the valleys. If we get thick smoke, it may not be that warm in Salem and Eugene, always tough to forecast. In the gorge, breezy at the west end. The east wind continues, not as extreme though. Generally in the 80s there, mid to upper 80s. Mount Hood, breezy, patchy smoke up there, 75 at Government Camp. And then east of the Cascades, you're avoiding the big fires because this is all about Western Oregon for now, 70s to low 80s. And then the 7-day forecast, you see the big drop in the temps at the end. Finally, back to normal, and maybe a bit below next week. We'll see.
The protests in Portland have been going on for more than 3 months now, and crowds have gathered many nights at the North Precinct on Northeast Emerson, right next to the Blazers Boys and Girls Club. Because of the associated danger and damages, the club says it will have to close for the time being. Now, neighbors that we spoke with are questioning how the message of the Black Lives Matter movement can continue when it's causing so many problems for the community.
I don't know what the end goal is at this point. You know, something that a lot of people in the neighborhood and I relied on for after school stuff, and I understand with the COVID thing, but they also did, like, you know, food stuff, and had some good programs, and I don't know, it just made me angry when they were gonna close.
Right now, it's not clear when the Boys and Girls Club will even be able to reopen.
Still to come, online learning is a new concept for a lot of people.
But some local teachers are hoping a new project will help. We'll take a look at some of the ideas to help make the experience a little easier and more fun.
You're watching the 4 o'clock news. First, live, local.
As we mentioned, tens of thousands in the metro area were without power today following the big windstorm. That made it impossible for many students, even teachers, to log on to their virtual classrooms today.
And that's just one obstacle students are facing as they head back to school from home. Fox 12's Haley Rush shows us the tools available to students who are having a hard time adapting.
2 Portland Community College instructors made a series of videos on how to do online learning well, and they say part of that is having the correct technology and making sure it works.
Make sure you have access to a computer and internet and a backup plan in case you run into computer or internet issues.
Videos like this one are by Portland Community College instructors Jessica Bernards and Wendy Fresh. They're creating a series of videos for 4th graders up to college-age students on how to best learn online. That includes making sure you set aside time to learn new technology. Bernards and Fresh say use your device to log on to your class early and make sure everything is working and you know where everything is. They say if your internet connection is slow, try turning off your video camera if your teacher will allow it, because this can help with lagging video. And of course, if you run into any technology issues you can't fix, they say talk with your teacher right away.
It is a new thing for everybody, and also for your teacher as well. So your teacher understands, and if you have an issue with technology, have a backup plan to your backup plan. That's one thing that we really stress. And but if even that doesn't work, still reach out to your teacher because they want to help you.
Bernards and Fresh also say to check everything you turn in online to make sure it's submitted correctly. Because while technology can and will most likely fail, they say it's still your responsibility to make sure an assignment gets to your teacher. They also have a video teaching students how to use scan apps and turn assignments into PDFs.
The instructors say they'll continue to make videos as topics pop up this year. If you'd like to see more of the videos, head to kptv.com. And coming up tomorrow morning, we'll take a look at online etiquette. Haley Rush, Fox 12 Oregon.
I think we had one or two non-fire stories in the newscast. That's kind of nice.
Sure was.
And with that, that's going to do it for us here on the 4 o'clock newscast on both Fox 12 and the Fox 12 streaming app.
Yeah, it's definitely a very busy news day. And with that, let's pass it over to Pete and Bonnie for the 5 o'clock.